Hi everyone, welcome to Take It and Make It Tuesday, brought to you by the Clearview Library District. In just a few moments you're going to be watching the instructional video for our adorable owl doorstop project. But before that, I just want to point out that this is our first program of the Tales and Tales Summer Adventure program. If you'd like more information about the special programming that we have coming up this summer, or if you haven't yet signed up to participate in the Summer Adventure program, please go to our website, clearviewlibrary.org, and there you will find all the information you need, and you will be able to sign yourself up for that Summer Adventure program. Without further ado, let's give our attention to Letha for our adorable owl doorstop instructional video. Take it away, Letha.
Hi everyone, we are participating in the Tales and Tales summer program. I hope you're enjoying your summer and will enjoy this project. It is an owl doorstop, and I just want to remind you it is a lightweight doorstop, so it will hold a door open but not a heavy door. But he was so much fun to make. In your kit you will find you have 3 pieces of felt. We have the body, the tummy, and the claws. You will also have some polyfill to stuff the owl with, and you'll have a small bag of rocks. Do not open the bag of rocks. You will use him for the weight for the owl. You will have 2 templates, cardboard templates that you'll need to cut out. And you will have a paper copy of the body parts that you will need to cut out. Also, you have some thread to sew him up and some buttons, some fun buttons to make the fun eyes, and also the instructions. So first of all, you have those items. Some other items you might want to have on hand are paper scissors, fabric scissors, a hand sewing needle, and he can be made either all hand sewing. He can also have some parts of him made by sewing with a machine, or also using a glue gun or fabric glue. I do recommend you get a marking tool handy, a permanent marker. All right, to start with, you're going to use paper scissors and you're going to cut out your paper patterns. So you will have 3 patterns. Set those aside, and you will also cut out your round circle templates. One is larger than the other. So first of all, you're going to fold your felt in half. And I noted on the instructions, do not fold it so it is more like a square, but fold it so it is a long, thin rectangle. And if you notice, one of the pattern pieces, and it's the owl body part, it says place this on the fold. So you will cut 2 of these. So you'll want to pin this onto the fold, cut it out, and do another one down here as well. And you can flip it to save a little bit of space here for later cutting. So cut 2 body parts out with this felt. His tummy will be cut out. You notice it's not to a point because part of it will not be shown. And then the claws, I have glued together 2 pieces of felt to make his claws a little more sturdy. So you'll cut out 2 of these. Set all of that aside. Now we want to pin the tummy piece of felt onto the one of the body parts. You'll pin it on, matching it up at the bottom. You can then hand sew or machine sew these 2 sides. When that is finished, you will then put the other body part on top of it so that the rust tummy is in between the 2 pieces. stitch it up on these two sides only. Make sure and leave the bottom open. Again, I did mine by machine. I found it easier, but you can sew it with a very small seam allowance by hand. Once that is done, you will then turn him right side out, and it looks like this. Then you will thread your hand needle and sew a large gathering stitch around the perimeter of the bottom. That is used for a gathering stitch, so make sure and leave tails at the beginning and the end of your thread. When that is finished, you will then gather this up. Hopefully my thread won't break here. Gather this up. And it doesn't matter at this point how evenly gathered. You just want to get a rough idea of the bottom, what it would look like. So after that is gathered up, do not tie the knot, but you're going to play with him on the table. Get a rough idea of how tall you want him to be and how much of the top you want to fold down for the beak. And when I mentioned about turning it right side out, use a tip of a pencil or something and get the point out pretty well. And you can also trim the top off before you turn it to get a little more pointed. So figure out how much you want to fold down for the top. Again, we haven't stuffed him yet. Once that is determined, you'll pin this down, and then you'll sew your buttons on. You have a tiny little yellow button, like here. You'll sew it for the beak, and then you can even lay him down at this point and play around with the foam eyes and the button eyes. Once those are placed where you want them, you'll sew them on. Okay, now we're going to take the polyfill out of the plastic bag and stuff it inside. And again, you'll gather up a little bit more as you work on it. So stuff the polyfill inside, fill up the upper body. You'll put the bag of rocks in at the base. When you are content with that, you will then gather this up and tie. He should be able to stand alone at this point, like this. The cardboard templates that you have, one will be cut out into the brown felt, and that'll be the larger template. So you put this on the excess brown felt, cut that out. Then you'll do a rough gathering stitch around that. This is going to be the base of the owl to cover up the open bottom. Once you put a gathering stitch on there, put the small cardboard on, uncovered, gather that up, tie a knot, and you'll have your base. Then you're going to center it on the bottom of the owl. And at this point, you will either hand stitch around the perimeter of the base or use a hot glue gun. I got a little bit messy on mine. Mine is a hot glue gun. Then you have the two claws, and the claws, again, you'll place where you want them on the owl, on the bottom. You definitely want them protruding out a little bit to show. And you can hand stitch a little bit here to keep them still, or use the hot glue gun. So at that point, you are finished. You're ready to use your doorstop on a lightweight door. Have fun with them, and have fun with the tails and tails this summer.